Coming up next, voters are heading to the polls on this important election day in Pennsylvania.
We are in a county where, it does flip around. We're in a state that flips around.
Plus, homeless on campus. We look at the issue.
I think that society today does look down upon people that might be homeless.
And find out why dogs are walking the halls of a local hospital. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon. I'm Paige McCarrick.
And I'm Matt Scalzo. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, Vote 2023 Election Day coverage. Today is Election Day, and the polls have been open since 7 this morning across the state. There are important court positions open, and on the local level, offices like school board and county commissioners. Reporter Jesse Wynn is live at a polling location on Penn State's campus. Jesse?
Matt, I'm here at the hub on the University Park campus where there's a polling place inside Heritage Hall. Turnout has been light so far, which is not unusual for an off-year election, but what voters are deciding today is important on the local and state level.
It's election day across Pennsylvania, and a lot is at stake, especially in our local towns and counties.
The status of our democracy, so whether or not we are a country with free and fair elections, which is, I think, the most important issue in a democracy. If that's at stake, then really you have a democratic crisis on your hands.
Among the key races, school board positions and 2 Center County Commissioner seats. The board is the chief governing body for the county. There are important state-level races, too.
Here at the Hub Robinson Center is one of the many places State College residents can go on November 7th to cast their ballot. Both Penn State College Democrats and Republicans say this municipal election is extremely pivotal as voters will select the state's newest Supreme Court justice.
Democrat Daniel McCaffery is going against Republican Carolyn Carluccio for an open seat on the Supreme Court. Carluccio's opposition to abortion access has drawn criticism from Planned Parenthood and other reproductive rights groups.
In Pennsylvania, the law of the land for abortion is you can go get an abortion if you need to. And so saying that this is just going to come before the court is highly improbable as far as I know.
But Charkis disagrees.
Multiple judges said that, abortion is the settled law of the land and stuff like that. It turned out that they were willing to toss out Roe v. Wade.
The court currently has a 4-2 Democratic majority, which Klein hopes to change.
Today, we are in a county where, it does flip around. We're in a state that flips around, and your vote does mean more depending on where you come from.
Pennsylvanians will also vote on a pair of judicial seats for the state Superior Court. And one seat is also open on the Commonwealth Court. You can cast your ballot at the polls until 8 p.m. tonight. Live in University Park, I'm Jessie Wood. Now back to you.
Thanks, Jesse. Pennsylvania lawmakers return to work next week, and the House will consider 2 bills on the state's death penalty. Pennsylvania has 98 inmates on death row, with some sentences dating back to the 1980s. A committee passed the bill last week, one to repeal the death penalty and the other to tighten standards for its use. The next step is a vote by the full House.
And 3 new bills aimed at fighting hate crimes in Pennsylvania have also passed in the House. Brendan Conroy has the details.
The Israel-Hamas war has led to increased threats to Jews and Muslims around the world. Now a new set of bills have passed the Pennsylvania House to fight hate crimes. FBI data shows they've been on the rise since 2018.
As a Jewish person, I've experienced my own situations of anti-Semitism. I think it's important to differentiate the difference between pro-Palestine and anti-Semitism.
The war in the Middle East has left Jewish and Muslim communities in Pennsylvania nervous and afraid. There were 3 total bills passed by the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, each bill looking to target a different measure of hate crimes. Next steps, looking to seek approval from the Pennsylvania State Senate. The first bill focuses on hate-based intimidation and would expand protections to victims targeted because of their race, gender, or age. The second bill would give law enforcement extra training to ID and investigate hate crimes. And the third would require colleges to have online anonymous reporting options.
And I just walked through the rally, and I even have a video on it from my phone. I sent it to friends. It was a peaceful, eye-opening experience as well, and I'm happy about the bills as well. And I think it's a good move and a step in the right direction for less hate crimes as well.
I'm Brendan Conroy for the Center County Report.
The bills now go to the state Senate for consideration.
4 state-related universities may be a step closer to finally receiving their long overdue state funding. The House approved a $643 million funding bill last week on the condition that universities freeze tuition for the next academic year. But Penn State says it's already voted on a budget plan that freezes tuition for resident students at Commonwealth universities. It also includes a 2% increase for in-state undergrads. The funding bill now goes to the Senate.
Some students say they've been seeing more homeless people on Penn State's campus recently. As affordable housing becomes harder to find, it may become even more common. Olivia Jean reports.
On Penn State's picturesque campus, you'll find thousands of students and employees. To the surprise of many, you'll also find the homeless, like Bahailu Nathan Strite.
I think that society today does look down upon people that might be homeless, right? Because that is something that people can be afraid of.
He's been homeless for about a year and spends a lot of time here.
The Arboretum is a beautiful place to go. It's obviously beautiful up there, nice and quiet, a beautiful fountain. I have gone to the hub a couple times just to use Wi-Fi, play pool.
He's one of the hundreds of homeless in Center County, and recently some students say they have seen more of them on campus. Strite says he doesn't blame students if that makes them nervous.
If you're a student that's going to a school and you're paying the tuition, and if you feel uncomfortable, you're not wrong if you turn around and go the other way.
The state says there are about 15,000 homeless people across Pennsylvania. That includes several hundred here in Center County. High housing costs and a lack of more affordable housing has put more pressure on more people. Bald Eagle Area School District saw a 37% increase in average house price in just 1 year.
The amount of trauma and negativity and obstacles and various hurdles that somebody has to experience to get to the point where you're seeing them on campus on a bench with their stuff is so long and complicated. It's not just like one day somebody wakes up, they lose their job, and now they're on the street.
Resources are available for those struggling at places like the Out of the Cold shelter.
I always like to say that they're welcome to direct them to the shelter. At least they can come here, they'll have a warm place to stay.
But those resources fill up quickly. Earlier this year, there were 243 homeless people on various wait lists for help in the area. Center County plans to apply for more funds to be able to provide more resources for those in need.
They're just people that are going through a hard time, and it's okay to give them resources that are available to them.
And Bahailu Nathan Strite hopes in the end, everyone can help each other.
I think it's important to love your neighbor.
In University Park, I'm Olivia Jean for the Center County Report.
University police say if you ever feel you're in danger on campus, call them or dial 911 right away.
A road project in our area wraps up more than a month early. We'll tell you where.
And we'll check the 7-day forecast to see if it'll feel more like fall or winter. Also coming up, a couple of cute faces help bring smiles to those who need it. Find out how dogs are helping those at a local hospital. A nearly $1 million road project has just wrapped up in the State College area. The joint ceiling project on I-99 between Port Matilda and Grays Wood is now finished, and PennDOT says it's done more than a month ahead of schedule. The road work fixed along the 7-mile stretch of the highway in Houston and Worth Townships.
A stay at the hospital can be scary and frustrating, but now at Mount Nittany Medical Center, a new therapy program is helping people smile. That's because pets are helping patients. Meet Bailey and Connor and Fallon. These 3 dogs bring a lot of smiles to a lot of people in State College.
I know that it brings them a lot of joy, a lot of smiles, and it's a really great way for people to become involved in volunteering.
The dogs are part of the newly launched pet therapy program at Mount Nittany Medical Center. The idea came from Steve Sinclair, a nursing housing supervisor, as a capstone project for his master's degree. Talk began back in March, and just last month it became a reality. The National Library of Medicine did a study on the impact of animal-assisted therapy on people with long-term hospital stays. They used 72 patients. The results showed the patients significantly improved from a psychological viewpoint.
They visit the emergency department, they round on different patient floors. It's just a way to lessen the stress of being in the medical center and to bring extra comfort, joy, and smiles to the patients we serve.
They're certified through the Allegiance of Therapy Dogs and Therapy Dogs International. Bailey is a mini Australian Shepherd, and Connor and Fallon are Scottish Terriers. Inpatients can request the dogs for an hour in their room.
I think anything to make being in the medical setting a bit more comfortable and to lessen the anxiety is going to be wonderful for patients of all ages.
2 more dogs are joining the program beginning this week, and the hospital hopes more could be on the way as the facility grows. If you're interested in volunteering at Mount Nittany Medical Center for the pet therapy program, you can find more information on their website.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm student meteorologist Jeremy Laguerre here for forecast and taking a look above Penn State campus, taking a look above Beaver Stadium right now. We have some clouds around, but the sun is out. That's the nice thing. And we're warmer than we averaged where we should be for this time of year. Right now, it's 66 degrees here in State College. We're going to be pushing 70 today, but we do have a breeze out there that's making it feel a little bit cooler than it actually is. Now, taking a look at our local temperatures here in the State College area, we're generally in the 60s with slightly warmer temperatures to our southwest, places like Altoona pushing 70 already. And then as we zoom out across the Commonwealth, we're generally in the 60s and the 50s here in the Commonwealth. And overall, we're going to be pushing 60 across a lot of the state, but most of the state will hit at least 60 today. Now, taking a look at our local radar, as you can see, we have some clouds around. We have a little bit of rain to our southwest, but overall, we're not too worried about precipitation here in State College, at least for the next 24 hours. Taking a look at our future cast going into tonight, you see we have some clouds around. We'll drop down to the 40s, but overall, we're looking still pretty dry. Going into tomorrow, we'll still have those clouds around, but we are much cooler tomorrow than we are today. 36 degrees for tomorrow morning, so it's going to feel like a polar opposite, honestly. Now, as we go into Wednesday night into Thursday, that's when the precipitation begins to move into the area. And then going into early Thursday, that's when we're going to be seeing that rain move across our area. And taking a look at the big picture now, this rain is part of a larger system. As you can see, Thursday morning, we have that rain in our area. But the good news about this system is it moves out rather quickly. And by Thursday evening, we should be mostly clear here in State College. Now, as we go into Friday, these clouds are going to stick around. But then the good news is for the weekend, Saturday should be a mostly clear day here in State College. It is going to be cold. Temperatures will be in the 40s, but it at least will be sunny. Now, as we go into Sunday, a system is going to move up from the south that could potentially bring us some rain, and it's definitely going to bring us some clouds. It's too early to tell how the system is going to impact us, but we're expecting some clouds definitely to move into the area on Sunday. But for today, here in State College, 67 degrees, sunny and windy right now with gusts up to 30 miles per hour today. We're going to drop down to the 30s tonight, so it's going to be feeling much colder than it is today. 36 degrees is the expected low tonight. And for tomorrow, a high 52 degrees with increasing clouds as the day goes on ahead of that Thursday rain. And taking a look at our 7-day forecast, 67 degrees for today. This is the warmest it will be all week. As we go into tomorrow, temperatures are going to drop and those clouds are going to increase. We're expecting some rain midweek, early Thursday. We're expecting that rain. And then as we go into the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll cool down to the 40s. But the good news is we at least have a mostly sunny Saturday.
Really great that it'll be nice this weekend finally.
With a huge football game, it's very nice that everyone's going to enjoy some nice weather and hopefully some good football. And with that in mind, we head over to sports with Adam Sheets.
Coming up in sports, Matt, you hit it. It's a big week for Penn State football. We look back on the Lions' win on the road against Maryland and what's ahead. Also, Nittany Lions basketball opened their new season with a new coach last night. Find out who came out on top after the break. I'm Adam Sheets with sports. Basketball season is here already. Penn State opened last night with a win against Delaware State. The Mike Rhodes era is underway.
The Nittany Lions defeated Delaware State 79-45. The sophomore duo of Jameel Brown and Kanye Clary led the team to the victory with a combined 42 points.
Coach Rose allows me to play, man. He just gives me a lot of freedom and just tells me go be me, tells me to push pace.
In a completely remodeled program in the offseason, it was familiar faces that made the difference in tonight's win.
We had 5 guys that decided to stay here because they love Penn State. and they love each other. And we got 10 guys that come here to come play for us and come to Penn State.
It's a new concept, but it isn't stopping them from coming together. Coach Rhodes says he is proud of what they're doing, especially on defense.
Put all your attention on your defense. Worry just about, you don't have to make a shot to stay in the game. You have to play really good defense.
And that is what the Nittany Lions did by forcing 23 Delaware State turnovers, and Rhodes is looking for more of that defensive pressure in future matchups. In University Park, I'm Gianna Kataya for the Center County Report.
Nittany Lions will be back in the Bryce Jordan Center on Friday at 7:30 to take on the Lehigh Mountain Hawks. Turning to football, it's Michigan week as Penn State has another big chance to knock off a top 5 team. The Nittany Lions had an impressive tune-up at Maryland over the weekend. It was domination from start to finish.
Scrimmage, you see the difference.
The 11th-ranked Nittany Lions hit the road as they took on Maryland.
Aller just moved the tight end.
Penn State started fast as quarterback Drew Aller found receiver Dante Cephas to get things started.
He dropped it in.
The Lions then got creative, playing both quarterbacks Aller and Bo Pribula. A trick play resulted in Aller finding Theo Johnson to expand the Penn State lead. After a Maryland score, Aller continued his strong performance as he found Tyler Warren for a touchdown to get the Lions the lead back to 2 scores. Aller then found Cephas again for another touchdown, the quarterback's 4th touchdown of the day.
And Cephas.
Penn State put things out of reach as Katron Allen bullied his way into the end zone, and the defense dominated as well, holding Maryland to minus 49 rushing yards. Penn State won the game 51-15 over the Terrapins as they now turn their attention to Michigan. Penn State sits at 8-1 on the year and will host undefeated Michigan on Saturday. Kickoff is at noon, and you can listen live on Penn State Com Radio with our broadcast team at Beaver Stadium. Speaking of Michigan, that sign-stealing scandal has no sign of going anywhere anytime soon. Just yesterday, ESPN confirmed a Michigan official says the school received formal notification from the Big Ten of potential disciplinary action. That's a required step in the league's sportsmanship policy. A former Michigan football employee is accused of traveling to other teams' games and video recording their in-game signals on the sideline. As of right now, though, Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh will be here at Penn State to coach this weekend. It's playoff time for local high school football teams. State College heads to Hollidaysburg to take on Altoona in the District 6 6A championship this week. And Bald Eagle advanced in the 2A bracket after taking down Bishop Guilfoyle. After the whistles, Nico Rodriguez has more from Wingate.
Bald Eagle and Bishop Guilfoyle meet once again, this time in playoff fashion. In the Week 1 matchup, Bald Eagle edged out a mere 17-7 victory over the Marauders.
We should have beat them by 24 or more, and the kids knew that too. I think they felt that, and I think they're definitely a good football team, no doubt. But I think that offensive defensive line definitely played a major factor in this, and we kind of bullied them up front. Now that's where it was won tonight on the offensive defensive line.
This time around, Bald Eagle dominated all game long, especially in the trenches. This came thanks to Cameron Dubbs.
My mindset was just to run as hard as I can, set my team up for any scoring positions, and just use my line to my advantage.
The senior tailback now has 18 touchdowns and just had one of his best games yet.
Yeah, we got a lot of weapons, and Cam Dubbs is one of them. I think that everybody gets, puts a lot of attention to the outside, and Cam Dubbs is pretty good running back.
The Bald Eagle defense dominated Bishop Guilfoyle, only letting up 2 touchdowns late in the 4th quarter when the game was already awash. This victory was all held together by the Bald Eagle defense, which was headlined by Alex Lefebvre.
It's all about the team. So there's no individuals, there's no I. We work together as a team, and the defensive scheme just happens the way it happens, and, it could be me this week, it could be someone else next week.
Bald Eagles already turning their sights to next week's matchup against Forest Hills at home.
You can see highlights and post-game reaction from this Friday's games on After the Whistle. That's at 11:30 p.m. on our Belisario Student Media YouTube channel. Penn State men's hockey hits the road this week after a split at home against Notre Dame. The Irish beat the Nittany Lions in a shootout in Game 1 on Saturday at Pagula Ice Arena. Then in Game 2, late in the 3rd period, Penn State trailed 2-1 before junior Dylan Lugris tied the game with 35 seconds left. After a scoreless overtime, Penn State's Xander Lampa netted the lone goal in the shootout as he got the puck past goaltender Ryan Bischel. Next up is a 2-game series at Michigan State, where coach Guy Gadowski could notch his 200th career win. And it's tournament time for Penn State soccer. The men's team will host Ohio State tomorrow in the Big Ten tournament semifinals. And the women's team has made the NCAA national tournament for the 29th straight year. The Lions host Central Connecticut State on Friday night. And that's all from sports. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Well, it seems to be an action-packed week. Both men's and women's soccer, men's basketball last night, women's basketball tonight, and football. But we thank you, Adam. Coming up next, the return of a pizza restaurant that originally opened in the 1970s in downtown State College. Find out where next.
A new pizza place has opened its doors in State College, but this new place has a strong connection to the past. Giuseppe's Pizzeria by Brothers has opened downtown on East College Avenue. It replaces Weirdos in that location. The owner says it's a return of his family's pizza business in the same building it called home almost 50 years ago. The family opened a Brothers Pizza there in 1976.
Looks like I found where I'm heading to lunch, as I'm a big pizza guy myself. But that's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us on Friday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a great afternoon.